Welcome to the CFG GamceCast episode 20, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We record on Saturdays and Sundays and release on Mondays on platforms like Google, Apple, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. With us today, we've got a special guest, TasherreGames. Our man is joining us. We've got our girl Flexiss flexing all over the place, kicking butts, doing all the Chun-Li things. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it. Yes. Make sure you go and follow them on their Twitches, their Twitters, all the socials, all the good things. We appreciate you guys being here. Let's start with Flex real quick. What have you been up to? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks. I'm always happy to be here among you beautiful people. Lately I've just been playing games and doing my streams. I've got Ladies Night coming up, so shout out to Ladies Night on Twitter, and then I'll be doing some streams and hopefully a giveaway soon for alongside with Dynamic Focus. That's going to be some fun times. Nice. But I think later on today I'll be hosting a lobby. I haven't decided if it's going to be Tekken or Street Fighter yet. But yeah, otherwise just enjoying life.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I totally get that. And I know that you guys have been, you grind out with the doing open lobbies and really involved in that, the fighting community and whatnot. So it's awesome being able to, see that and have that representation, because I'm not very familiar with the fighting game community, but I know that it's a huge community. So good on you. Go check out her socials. Go check out her Twitch. Go catch her live. You said you're going to be live today with open lobbies?
Yes, I will be. I haven't decided yet if I'll do Tekken 7 or Street Fighter 5, so you'll just have to sit on the edge of your seat and wait it out.
I just happen to have both of those.
Ooh,
all right. Maybe we'll all get together after.
Right? And with us, that deep, sexy chocolate voice that you hear is our man, TasherreGames.
Wait a minute, his voice is deeper than mine. Whose voice is
ooh. Taj, how are you, my friend, man? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm great.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your stream, what you do, IRL and stuff like that.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tasher Risay, aka TasherreGames. I am a musician. I am a streamer, voiceover artist. Several things that I do. Man, you got to throw a wrestling fan in there as well.
Ooh.
I've been streaming on Twitch. Well, full time. I've been streaming on Twitch for it will be 2 years coming up in January.
Oh.
I'm a variety streamer. I do a lot of story based stuff, but I do like shooters, first and third person. I like fighting games. So myself and Flexiss got to get something in one day. I'm gonna have her, beat me because I'm not great at fighting games. But I play a little bit of everything. I'm Monday through Friday. I get that midday stream in, so I'm normally 12 to 5, sometimes a little bit later. EST. Feel free to come through if you like. But yeah, happy to. I'm a fan of Smitty's. I've been following him for a little while, and we just happened to get cool. He brought me to the show, and I'm greatly appreciative. So thank you for that, and shout out to Davis as well. And why am I missing her name right now? Oh, God dang it. What am I missing? And you're just going to let me sit here.
I'm sorry. Okay. We got to keep it rolling, man. Remember? We professionals, dog.
Right. But I just blanked out on the other partner's name. Oh, God. Review session.
Oh yeah.
Blanking on her name,
and it's been nice too, because we've been able to have we've been able to have Naughty Nimbus, Flex has been with us, Sesh, so we're definitely looking to bring more people on, bring some different people on, and get a nice little rotation and people, because there's so many different people that are in different aspects of gaming, or you know what I mean, or they play particular games, or they do particular things. So it's great having those different perspectives. As for myself, it was was a short week. It was a busy week at work. I am dog ass tired, but we're here. We are we are doing the things. It's been fantastic. I'm super excited. Again, this is episode 20. I can't believe that we're already at episode 20, number 1. And as you can tell, Davis is out. He is in Japan. He is living the life, doing all the things. So, Davis, when you check this out, good to see you. I hope you're enjoying our voices, and I hope you're enjoying Japan.
And shout out to my partner, Jay Bishop, that they're supposed to be linking up this weekend. He's out in Japan as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So they're supposed to be hanging out this weekend.
Yeah, he's Mr. International for sure. That's what's up. That's legit though. That's legit though. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like we were talking about, we've got some great topics today. As we typically do, we're going to start off with our guest, Tash. Tell us, what do you have? What is on your mind? What topic are you bringing today?
So here's the thing. All three of us here, we're all huge streamers on Twitch. We have millions of followers and subs, and Mixer is at our door every day trying to get us over there. So before we take that next step and get that ninja check, I wanted to ask, what are your gaming origins? What got you into gaming? And this is for the chat as well. What got you into gaming? What was your first system? What's your favorite game? And even what's your worst gaming experience?
Go for it, Flex.
All right. Gosh, my gaming origins, because I grew up as a gamer. And it's interesting because my parents were never anybody that played games. They weren't technologically savvy, so I very much got into it on my own. And my first system was a Nintendo 64, and I was far too young to be playing the games that I did. I had Rampage, with the monsters that go and they climb the buildings and they'll attack and stuff like that. So that was my first game I ever played, and from there I fell in and out of gaming up until probably about grade school when I got really involved and I got my PlayStation 2. And I mean that game or that system still to this day held on to my heart because I just played all my favorite games on there. And I think that was really the start of my love for RPGs and for gaming as a whole. But nice. I think my love has expanded and grown outside of that. Now I'm a PC gamer, and I kind of strayed away from consoles just because I like the diversity and the availability of gaming within the PC realm. And it actually led me to fall in love with my favorite game, which not a lot of people love. But with the amount of time I've played in it, the origins of it, and just a little bit of everything about it that I really enjoy. My favorite game's Overwatch, actually. What? Which not a lot of people would pick. Yeah, my favorite game out of all games is Overwatch. Yeah, I mean, nice. I have a couple other ones that I pick for RPGs and stuff like that, but I think overall, in total, if I had to pick a number one, it'd be Overwatch.
Wow.
So.
How did I not? I didn't even know that you played Overwatch. How have we not played Overwatch together?
I think we've only played once or twice, but yeah, I used to play all the time. Back before my fighting game career, I wanted to be a pro Overwatch player.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I think.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, to kind of segue off that though. PC gaming has also brought me a lot of heartbreak and a lot of upset. And,
really?
A lot of people would think that my least favorite game or one of my worst gaming experiences would be Fallout 76. I actually did not have bad of a time with that. However, looking at my library as it stands right now, oh man, I don't know if I played any truly bad games or maybe just games that didn't have attention. And honestly, that would probably be more on the realm of shooter games, very CS:GO style games. And it's not that they're bad games as a whole, but I just found enjoyment out of it. I guess it's also because I'm very good at them.
Right. Damn. That's interesting. That is interesting. And I figure too, with you being, so much in the fighting game community,
Overwatch.
He goes and drops
She's over here in Overwatch.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've grew since Overwatch came out. I used to play nonstop, and I've kind of fallen out of it a little bit. I only play with friends, but the time and energy and money that I put into it, and the merchandise, and I just I love the origins behind each character, and they resonate with me so well. Especially Diva is female gamer turned badass.
Right.
So
that's one thing when you brought that up about as far as the origins and whatnot, that's one thing I really enjoyed. I've played Overwatch. I like it. I can't play it every day. But one thing I really enjoy about it is what Blizzard has done as far as the origin stories and the films or the movies that they made for each character. That's really dope how they've done that. And yeah, it does bring you in when you can actually see everyone's backstory and kind of attach yourself to someone based on whatever it is.
Well, and
I do really enjoy that.
And I think that's part of why it makes it so just alluring and so many people like it, because it's not just like a shooter, or you know what I mean. You have these intense backstories. You've had they've done comic books, the short films and everything. Like, I would love to see an Overwatch movie. I think that would be amazing. Keep it animated. You know what I mean? Like I would pay to go see that. That would be freaking amazing.
I would too.
Yeah, and you legitimately get invested in these characters and their backstories, and I think that's part of why the game is so popular.
Yeah, and I think what's really neat too about to not go on too much of a tangent, but to say the one thing I really love about Overwatch and the whole kind of culture around Overwatch is the fact that they have Overwatch League, which is the pro football version of video games. And I think that's so cool. It's for the first time, I feel like I'm watching a sports game that I actually enjoy watching.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So for me, I'm older. I'm older.
Shut up, Smitty.
I started out with a Commodore 64. That is where. That is where I started. Hold on. Speaking of which.
No, he's not about to pull that out.
I totally have. I have a Commodore. I need to see if I can actually get it running, but I was able to obtain one.
Nice.
But yeah, we started out on a Commodore 64 as far as with gaming, and then it was not too long after that we got a Nintendo. So I was always on Nintendo. My brother was always what the hell is it? Sega guy. So Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64. I had a Game Gear at one point. I never had a Game Boy though. Then I went to PlayStation. I went from that to PlayStation, and then went through all the PlayStation iterations and stuff like that. I did start out PC gaming even after getting the Nintendo and after the Commodore, because my dad would game a lot on PC. So Mech Warrior, old school Doom, all that, all the classics and whatnot. So I have very much been a part of gaming since I can really remember. It's always been something that I've done. I've had spurts where I didn't play much, like in college or towards the end of high school, but then I really got into it when I moved back out here to Vegas. I ended up at one point in time, we were talking about this last night, I ended up joining a COD clan, and that's what really ruined my life. Because I got super deep. I got super deep into the clan and playing the games. I stopped going out. That was, and I was broke too. I just moved out to Vegas. I didn't have a lot of money, so it's what am I gonna do? I'm gonna grab a 12-pack of Keystone and sit there and drink and play video games all night. That's what I'm gonna do. That's and I still do it.
The starter kit.
Yeah, exactly. So that is, gaming has always been a big part of my life. I love it. I think it's fantastic that it's getting bigger. It's growing. You're seeing, even with live streams, people that are podcasting, I think when things became a lot more consumer friendly, not only, everything, think about it. They have editing software now that's free. the internet has just completely, made this a way more viable thing that people are doing, making careers out of. I mean, there's people that are playing video games and making a living, making well over a living playing video games.
That's my intro. Yeah, all three of us. We're
right,
those people.
Right, exactly. So we're making like $1 million an episode. If you guys didn't know, full disclosure. But I love it. I love it, and I'd have to say, and it's my probably one of my all-time. I have a couple of all-time favorites. Metal Gear Solid, or the Metal Gear Solid, but the Metal Gear series in general is freaking amazing. The story has always been amazing. The gameplay, everything about it. I've always again, we're talking about these games that really, get you. The story is so good. Like you start just really empathizing with the characters, and they become a part of your life almost. Like, oh man, Snake, like what is going on, and I think anytime somebody can tell a story like that, you know what I mean, is amazing, whether it be through music, through visual art, whatever. I'm all about creating and creatives and seeing other people's work. It's so inspiring. But that game series is just awesome. And then just like a fun series, I've always loved the Mario Kart series. I remember my brother and I, this is fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, my brother and I would play on the original one came out on Super Nintendo, and we would play, and I remember having a big CRT TV, and we would record. We would record it through a tape. I know you guys don't know what that is, but we used to have these things called VCRs. We would record it, and we'd be like casting and stuff like that. Like, dude, I've been doing it forever, man. Like, I love it. So I will always be a Mario Kart fan, and then of course the Metal Gear series as well. Least favorite experience is probably going to be, I don't know. That is a tough one. Kind of like Flex is saying, it's hard to really pinpoint one, and obviously the most recent thing is wants to come to mind. But I think one of the most unsatisfying things for me, and it's completely had a turnaround, I would have to say is I'm sorry, I was going to talk about No Man's Sky, because that release was so underwhelming for me. It just, I was on a road trip from New York back to Vegas, and I took my PlayStation out because I knew it was dropping. I was like, I'm going to play. I know it's going to be on hotel Wi-Fi, but we're getting it in. I don't care. It's coming out. We got in there. We were able to do it. And after an hour, I was just like, this is boring, man. There's nobody around. Where's the people? It's so lonely. We got this huge universe, and it's just me, and these, the AI. So that was pretty underwhelming. And then, of course, Anthem's just the one that I want to love that game so much. I want to love that game so much, and I can't. I just can't. It's not there. I hope they're able to do a No Man's Sky thing where they come back with a vengeance, and they bring everything, and there's a lot more content and a lot more loot. Don't be a looter shooter and not have very much loot. You know what I mean? That is so it's upsetting. It is. We've talked about it. I'm a loot sloot. Yeah. I am a loot sloot. Give me my loot.
Right. I was going to ask, let's sidestep for a little bit with Anthem. Do you think there's a true possibility they could be in No Man's Sky? Give them a year. Give them 2, possibly.
I'm an optimist, so I will always be like, yeah, there's the possibility. It really depends on what I think the first step is having a roadmap again. You don't even have a roadmap. Right. That tells me right there, you guys have no idea what the hell is going on. You guys, that either means that you guys are just keeping it secret and doing things, which that's fine. That's cool. Kind of just cause that one dude from Hello Games, he straight up ghosted people and then came back when he had something to talk about,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's weird. We haven't seen it yet, but when you think about the 2 teams that are involved with the two talks of EA games right now, you're talking about the Titanfall team that's working on the new Star Wars game that's coming out, which it looks really good, even though we haven't seen much. But I think they're hiding, stuff for spoilers.
Right.
But I think realistically, they should have switched. They should be on each other's project. I take nothing away from BioWare because I really enjoy Anthem. But then once I did finish the main story, I got to the end. I was like, okay, I understand now, and I really haven't played it since. However, I think if EA quits doing EA and lets them do what they have to do, I think it can be a No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I hope it is. I'm hoping that it is because I went all in on that game. And I remember too, the thing that hurts the most is this is when I remember them announcing this. This is when Destiny, Vanilla Destiny was out, and that was kind of it got into a weird bad place there. And I remember them talking about that, and I was like, oh, that game sounds amazing. 7-8 years later, here it is, and it's like this is all you guys had 7 or 8 years to do all kinds of stuff with this game. And we've seen some of the behind the scenes things, and there's always weird stuff I feel like that happen behind the scenes that we're not really privy to on the external side or on our side of things, which sucks because I think we should be able to at least know some of these things that are going on, because that's going to change my mind on whether I'm going to throw $300 at this game. Or wait a second, you're telling me that they didn't even really start developing anything until about 8 months out, or you know what I mean? Like, right. It's like, come on now. That's withholding information that I think people could use. So I'd like to be optimistic about it, and I hope it does get to a good place, because actually playing the game is fun. There's just not enough to do, and there's not enough meat to the whole experience.
I was gonna say to segue on that, Tash. What about you? Where were your roots with gaming? What is your favorites? What are the things that you wish would be dropped off and forgotten forever?
Right. Well, if you notice this garbage on the bottom of my chin, you will see that I got a few years on this earth. My first system was the Atari 2600. Went from the wood grain version to the black and silver version. Once that one died, once the old one died, then into 8-bit Nintendo, SNES. Where from there? 64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I never had an Xbox. I had the GameCube. Yeah, after GameCube and PlayStation 2, I ended up taking a few years off, getting other stuff done, but ended up getting into PC by accident. That's the crazy part about getting into PC, because, again, I do music and I do content creation for my website and for YouTube and stuff like that. And I built a computer strictly for like video editing and stuff like that. And I was told to get a GPU, NVIDIA, that's going to help you actually process the video. So I pick up this GPU, and next thing I know, it has a thing where I can get Batman Arkham City was free with it. And I hadn't played games in years, but you had to register it through Steam. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. I'll check it out. Next thing I know, here it is, 7 years later, I have a huge Steam library. And all over different platforms, all for Uplay, and good God, it's ridiculous. Right. So, I'm PC for life at this moment. I don't own any more consoles. Not that I have anything against consoles, because I did own a Game Boy too, Smitty.
Oh, nice.
You're not a real gamer.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I own one too. So Smitty, you're the odd one out.
You're not a real gamer, man.
Aww.
Well, you know what? I never owned a Sega console, so I don't know what that says about me.
Nah, Sega's all right.
Hey. But my absolute favorite game, even though I'm a PC gamer and I played some incredible games. I just finished Shadow Warrior yesterday. That was a great game. But my absolute favorite game of all time may surprise you. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yes.
That's my number one.
Yes.
My number one.
That's a great game. That's a great series.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I haven't played anything past Wind Waker, to be honest, because I don't really get into Nintendo consoles anymore. I wish they would, give me a box that connects to my TV and I can actually go play virtual console. Quit playing with me, Nintendo.
Right?
I can't say Reggie anymore because Reggie's gone. But Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is my absolute favorite game of all time. I played it so many times when I was on Super Nintendo. It was ridiculous. If I have to pick a bad experience, so I just said, my first console was the Atari 2600, and this is what's the word? Retroactive revisionist history. That's what I want to say. I'm actually old enough to where I played E.T. And I didn't realize until years later how crap of a game E.T. was. God damn. I look back now like, God damn, that game was garbage. No wonder it's in the damn landfill.
Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do in that game? Like you were trying to get home, or
the whole? It was very similar to the movie where you had to go find the different pieces of the phone, and then you had to call your people and wait for them and dodge the FBI or whatever. Yeah, that was fun.
That is amazing.
Oh man.
That reminded me though, because like really truly my worst gaming experience would have to be when my brother erased my Final Fantasy VII save point. He was so salty because somehow his got erased and he thought it was me, so he went in and erased mine. I've never finished Final Fantasy VII. That's why I'm excited for the remake. Yeah, so it'll be like doing the story all over, and I know, you know what I mean, not like the same as before, but yeah. I couldn't do it. Like I was so deep, and you remember that thing was like on 4 discs. It was a huge game.
How far
and
were
he erased it, huh?
How far were you?
I have no idea. I mean, I felt like I was pretty deep in the game. Like I was like, you know what I mean, like level up and stuff like that. And he went and erased my my save point, man. So that by far, I'll never forget that. I'll never forgive him for that. I'm playing.
That sucks. You know what? That brings up another, I guess you could say, worst gaming experience. When I was playing PlayStation, the original, and I had Tomb Raider 2, I think it was, and I accidentally saved as Lara was falling off of a cliff, and every time it reloaded, it was her falling off the cliff. I couldn't do anything. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I've seen that happen before.
That's a terrible gaming experience.
Oh man!
Oh, that's
now,
crazy.
I was gonna say, speaking of terrible experiences or necessarily terrible gaming news, do we want to shift over into the next topic?
Absolutely. That is a good
What
segue.
a transition.
Oh yeah, super smooth. So I'm gonna take you back real quick, back to E3, this previous E3. So if you remember, there's a lot of memorable moments, and we had Tango Gameworks' first new project since Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo. They said it would be an action-adventure game in which you'll fight paranormal enemies and rid them of supernatural evil. After giving an introduction, Mikami handed the stage to Ghostwire's creative director, Ikumi Nakamura, to tell us more about the studio's next thriller. Now, I'm not here to talk so much about the game, though it is pretty exciting. Instead, I want to talk about the creative director of the game, Ghostwire, Ikumi Nakamura. So, we all know she stole the show at E3 and left a memorable performance upwards. She's known for being very wholesome, and we all fell in love with her as she came on stage. However, Nakamura stated that she's leaving Tango Gameworks and Bethesda/Cinemax, as said in a recent post on her LinkedIn and Twitter profiles. Nakamura left the following message and revealed that she has departed the game developer Tango Gameworks. She stated, after 9 years as creative director and art director at Tango and ZeniMax, I felt here is one of the things. I learned from the talented people I've worked with. I respect them. I do not want to forget appreciation and respect to everything. For several years, I've been doing my best to create the Ghostwire Tokyo, which I felt like my child. She is the lead art designer for both The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2, She's worked on Bayonetta with Platinum Games and Okami with Capcom. So she's pretty well versed in the gaming realm as far as the creating games and such goes. So, and this game, she left the production of it pretty soon after the game was getting announced. But it's not uncommon for creative directors to leave their positions before their project launches. Another couple examples include Sebastian, I think it's Stepien, who left CD Projekt Red as the creative director of Cyberpunk 2077, which we're all very excited for, and Tim Longo, who left 343 Industries, having worked on Halo Infinite. So it's in an interesting position, the game Ghostwire, because their creative director left. But there is rumor that she's going to be moving on to bigger and better things, although we don't know what, and she hasn't quite released anything yet. But I kind of wanted to bring her back just to talk about her and talk about like what it means to be in the industry and especially in a position like that and having like, I don't want to say faithfulness to like one specific company or one specific game type, but having like I guess like consistently working with them. I'm trying to think of the word for it. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
No, I understand.
No, I think and she was. But, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, all you.
That's a really odd thing, and let me ask you this, Flexiss. Do you? Well, maybe. I'm just gonna get your response on it. Do you think it's still hard on ladies in this industry or in these different industries that's mostly male, and then you have a female that actually rises up and does great things, gets attention, and it seems like this isn't the first time this has happened. I can't think of the lady's name that was running the Star Wars thing over at EA and then left. And she's, she did Uncharted, if I'm not mistaken, and a couple of other really big games. But do you think that it could be the fact that it's still the old boys club, even though things are changing, that could have been one of the reasons that she ended up leaving?
I think, it's hard to say if it was due to like the popularity she was gaining and something similar to that, or if it was maybe because she was getting signed to other projects. I definitely, it's hard to say if there's foul play involved because you want to think the best of those kind of situations, but it's not uncommon either for women in the industry that hold such like higher powers to, I don't want to say get bullied, but be like feel the pressure of those positions. And I know too with like certain, I don't want to say certain industries because I work in IT on my day job, but you definitely feel a level of pressure, and there is still somewhat of a stigma about women in male dominated industries that you were continuously trying to combat, and it's getting better and better. So I guess simple answer, potentially. Long answer, it's hard to say.
Right.
Yeah, and hearing that though, and this seems to be something that's kind of typical too with the creative directors leaving and moving on to different projects and stuff like that. I think it's just, and again, it could be people just reading into it a little more than what it is, because it seems like it might be more of an industry standard to where you get to a certain point and it's like, I'm no longer needed here. I've got other projects that I'm starting or we're working on and stuff like that. So now I'm going to take my attention. You guys got this. And move it over here,
right?
Which is nice too, because that again, and that's how it should be. You get to a point where hey, my job is done. You guys are just now on the execution phase, making sure that the technical things on that end are working. So it's nice. I'm excited to see. Well, but the crazy thing about that too is that she was there for 9 years, right?
Yeah, she was there for a very long time.
I was like, that seems.
Yeah, because she worked on 2 other games. She worked on The Evil Within 1 and 2.
Right, right. So that's some longevity, and especially in that area where she could have already gone somewhere else potentially. So I think it's I think it's kind of nice. And, change is always nice like that, too. Maybe she's just ready to break out a little bit, do some more, you know what I mean? See what kind of, it's basically she, maybe put herself in free agency or something like that. Hey, I'm available for work. Holla at your girl. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's not room for loyalties when in that kind of industry, because you want to go where the money is. I mean, again, we'll bring up No Man's Sky real briefly. That didn't the company go out of business or something similar to that? The company definitely tanked, and I imagine there's a lot of developers or people that didn't stick around because of that. With any job, with any workplace, you want to go where the money is. So maybe she found projects that paid better, and she found places that have more opportunity, or maybe she found somebody that let her stretch out her creative fingers a little more, so she could, really, I guess, experiment with different gaming ideals and artwork and things like that.
I honestly hope that's the situation. I would hate that, as we were saying, she possibly got bullied or pushed out because she was getting too popular or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of, I guess, if that ended up being the case. But we all want to think the best of the industry, and we all want to think the best of the people in the industry. And of course, none of us want to see any harm done to her, because she's so great.
Yeah, she was super sweet. She was super sweet on there. She's such a. I don't know. You just get, there's some people that you just get an instant connection with, and you can kind of tell what their energy is all about and stuff like that. And it's like, oh yeah, you're just, you're like me. Yeah. All right, cool. But I am excited.
That's the thing. That's, I follow people in different industries, be it wrestling or acting or whatever. And I'm not one of those people that just follow people because they're famous or whatever. Mm-hmm. I follow people because I like them as a person. I've seen them in an interview, and it made sense, who they are, what they're about, and who they are. It's like, okay, I can connect to you. That's why I'm here, with Smitty.
No, absolutely. Well, the thing about that too, and that was something that was always kind of perplexing for a while for me, as far as what was the allure. I remember when I first got into Twitch, and I was just like, I don't understand it. Let me go and watch and see. And I was like, I don't understand why somebody would watch somebody play games. I'd rather just play the games, And then I started going to streams. I started watching, and I was just like, wait a second, man. I was like, I don't really care what game they're playing. I'm here to hang out with people and I like this person's personality, or they got, there's a lot of good people in the community and stuff like that. That's when it clicked for me. I was just like, oh, dude, social media and this and that. We're supposed to be, it's not just a bunch of one-liners and, hot takes and getting likes and stuff like that. It's a tool to actually connect with people and be able to communicate no matter where you are in the world. I mean, we've got friends all over the world, just because of social media or Twitch or the internet in general. I remember the time when there was no internet, you know what I mean? I'm looking at my man Tasher because I know he knows. But this is
for the people that's been down since day one.
Yeah. But it's crazy. Again, with this situation though, I think this is more of a standard. It seems like it's something that's standard. It doesn't seem like there was any kind of because it would be kind of random, you know what I mean? For all of a sudden them to be like, hey, force a firing or force her to resign or go somewhere else. I think this is something that she's solely going off of, especially after the popularity and some of that recognition that she's gotten. Why not open up for free agency? See what's out there. People, that's the time. That's the time to do that stuff. She put 9 years with this company developing games and working with them. It's nice to see that she's able to what it seems like spread her wings and see what's out there, what else is out there for her creatively. So kudos to her.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what work she gets involved with in the future. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on her name.
Yeah, absolutely. So For me, speaking of just keeping an eye on something, I'm always keeping my eye on EA. You know, we always got to go back to EA because I'm a trash human being. So this is fantastic, by the way. EA. So EA received a world record. EA got a world record, but not a world record that you would really want. EA received a Guinness World Record for most downvoted comment in Reddit history.
No.
Yes.
It's like EA just can't get out of their own way, man. They cannot get out of their own way. Let me read a little bit here. Back in 2017, EA was dealing with the mess that was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think we're all familiar with that. I'm still salty about that. And its hated loot boxes. During that time, an unknown community manager used the official EA community team Reddit account to respond to a complaint about unlocking characters. That was his first mistake. Over 600K downvotes, and 2 years later, EA's infamous comment has officially earned a Guinness World Record. The record was spotted by Reddit user Amasa, who posted a photo from the Guinness World Record book for 2020 showcasing the record on the Star Wars subreddit. The post has racked up over 80K upvotes. Gosh dang.
Oh, man.
EA can't... What are they doing? What are they doing? Like, seriously, like, why do they? Because remember when EA, like, I was excited to see EA on an opening logo as you're playing a new game. You know what I mean? You knew it was going to be fire.
It's in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was exactly my thought.
You know, that used to excite people. Like, what changed to make them just so just hated by everybody? Yeah, that money. Nah, NT man from the stream is 100% correct. I think it is all about that money and that greed and that need and that want. Again, they became so big and corporate that, you know, all of a sudden it stopped being about the game. It's no longer in the game. You know what I mean? It's in their pockets, and that's our money in their pockets.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought this was, I mean, Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, no, I think that's absolutely right. I think, you know, they're out of touch with what the whole premise was in the first place, that they were meant for gamers, you know, get in the game now. Like Smitty said, it's get in our pockets. I think, yeah, they're out of touch. They have a focus on money. And we're a critical bunch. We don't take bullshit as a group of gamers. So when we see stuff like that, they're gonna have to bite the bullet and accept that they made a mistake because of it.
Yeah, but will they?
And clearly, yeah. Well, we'll see if you know that they meet the hubris or not.
They don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care. I could, you know what I mean? And Kit from the stream is exactly right. It's in the shareholders' quarterly reports. That's where it's really at. And that's who, you know what I mean? That's what it's all. It's all about that bottom line. So it's no longer about the gamers, I feel. You know, they're cranking out, you know, they'll come out with these games. But I mean, even look at, again, let's go back to Anthem for a second. How are you going to let a game like that release? You know what I mean? It's just all about that money and that bottom line. I don't think they said surprise mechanics, man. They said surprise mechanics. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. That's how you get around. Let's invent some garbage that it means the exact same thing, but
yeah,
that's exactly what that was.
And every game that's out for them, I feel, is just riddled with microtransactions and you know, little this and that. But it's become such a common thing now, and all the games are doing stuff similar to that. So like the model has changed. It has absolutely changed, and we literally witnessed it from going to, hey, when you get a game, that's the game. It's a full 100% game. There's not going to be any kind of DLCs or anything like that. You get the full game. You paid one price. Now it's like, hey, pay this price, but also get the year pass. But don't forget about them sexy skins. Don't forget about the weapon skins. Don't forget about the, you know, we got this other currency to get real life stuff. Oh, you need art? Here, we got that. Go to our store. We're EA. Give us your money. Give me your wallet, sucker.
But you know what? But you know what? Let me just say this real quick, and this is necessarily in defense. But as someone who has toured, when I was a rapper and I had my own merch and stuff like that. It's about selling all the extra stuff, all the full experience. I'm not opposed to DLC and skins and stuff like that. It's the other garbage. Like, okay, let's slightly pivot to another company is doing similar things. 2K. 2K has the thing now where they have a literal slot machine in the 2K20.
Oh.
And they try to play it off as if it's something else. It's like, when did this become a part of the game? Basketball is a ball. You're on the court. Y'all pass it. You dunk it. Where the hell did the damn slot machine come in? And yeah, it's just pure greed. I don't understand it. And the whole loot box thing and all of that, that's what annoys me. But the other stuff does not, because you don't have to buy that.
Right. And that's true. I mean, that's my one thing about that stuff that I'm not like. It's like if it were like a pay to play type of deal, that would, well, I mean, but don't get me wrong though too, because Destiny did that, where you would have these new DLCs and these things that would come out, and it would lock people out behind a paywall, so they couldn't even get like some of the new weapons and stuff like that. It's like, look, that's not fair to you. Not everybody can afford it. You shouldn't then, because now these people that were able to afford it have an advantage on the game, and they have these weapons or they have access to armor that you can't get. That's when I really have an issue with it. I think it's crazy that people put in a bunch of money to do that, but I think it's it's kind of easier, not easier said than done, but I know for me anyway, like if it's digital, like it's easier for me to spend money on something digital. I never see the cash. I never actually see the, you know what I mean? Like I just have this item.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's so convenient.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think that like ties into the whole aspect of, when you pay to play, and when you're paying for a game, like where you have an advantage over somebody who's not paying for it, I think that's where companies need to draw the line, because you're not just paying for the aesthetic, you're paying to be better than the other person. And I think that leaves an unfair advantage where in the gaming realm, like technically all of us meet on the the same playing field. Nobody should technically have an advantage over another person. We're all equal there, but once you start adding that pay to play factor where, I can buy the better gun, I can buy the better character, I can buy the better this and that, then it suddenly becomes this like dynamic where, well, I have more money, so automatically I'm better in the game than you, who just has the base game and can't afford anything extra.
Yeah.
See, that's why I just stream Minesweeper every day. It's
No, you don't. No, you don't. There's no bias on that. There's no bias or anything on that. No loot skins, no DLCs. I said loot skins. Loot skins isn't a thing. Loot boxes. No. That is, and that's true, man. And I get it. People gotta, they're a big company. They've gotta pay people out, this and that. It just seems like they're always.
Come on now.
What?
Come on, hold up.
What?
I'm not gonna let you go there.
What?
I'm not gonna let you do that, because that's the garbage that they do.
What?
These companies like, well, we have to make a living, and
I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning what they've done as far as with that stuff. I understand that they have that stuff, but they're making, I'm saying their profits are ridiculous, and we're talking about, and a lot of the stuff too is coming from like free games where it's like, oh yeah, everybody has access to this, but we have microtransactions all throughout it. They're making their money, and they're making a lot of money doing it. So there's it's just the type of company it's just sad that they've gone away from being about the quality of game that people are getting, the quality of games that people are getting, and it's just about, all right, we've got let's push this game out. It's gonna have all the microtransactions, and why is that is so hard to say, microtransactions, and we'll make our money back.
Somebody typed in the chat microtransactions.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not saying am I saying crazy things?
Microtransactions.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so
microtransactions.
Yeah.
That is funny.
It's like such a hard word, it shouldn't even be used.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Exactly.
There's another word that's like that too, where Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce.
Oh yeah, Worcestershire sauce or whatever.
I don't even know what. Yeah, am I not saying? Is it Worcestershire? I thought it was Worcestershire.
I have no
But
idea.
see, here's the thing. I've heard it pronounced the way that we would read it, Worcestershire or whatever. It's supposedly just Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce?
That's what's
No,
nuts.
shut up.
It's just Worcestershire. Because there's a city. There's a city on the East Coast named Worcestershire. I want to say it's in New York or something like that.
Really? Oh yeah. Oh no. Are you sure?
like, let me look it up. Yeah.
That sounds.
Hey, I'm a wrestling fan. I've seen the Monday Night Raw from that location multiple times, and I swear to you, they say Worcestershire.
Okay, yeah, no, check it out. That would be interesting. We've all probably been saying it wrong.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about? I can't remember. I think we talked about it a little bit, how the Metarama Music and Gaming Festival that was supposed to be coming out to Vegas in October got canceled. They just
really?
Yeah. It was gonna be. It would have been the first of its kind.
The one that had like Ninja and Skrillex and stuff, right?
A bunch of huge names. Yeah, both musically and in gaming. It got canceled. I don't think they had the ticket sales. I think they were lacking a little bit on sponsorships and stuff. That really sucks though, because I was really looking forward to that. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. You know what I mean? Something that hasn't been done before. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that it does end up coming back at some point in time, or they're able to get it together. I just don't know why. I figured it would have been a huge event, and a lot of people would have been.
I think part of it might have been the cost, because I saw the cost of some of those tickets, and it's like I've been to quite a few different music concerts, and I've done everything from like front row seats all the way to like, hey, I'm sitting on the lawn. And, and I've done like the big music festivals like that, and they did not compare in the price of the music festival. What Metarama?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to say the tickets were at over 300, which to me is I want to say that might have been how much they were.
That's
which
too
to
much.
me, and it was like what, a 2-day event?
Yeah, 2-day event.
Yeah, that's too much.
$3. Whew.
Yeah, that is.
You know what?
This
actually bumps up against my backup topic if we got time.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure both of you can have some input to this. Cons.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on them, especially something like, since we're all Twitch streamers. Do you encourage people to try to make it out to TwitchCon or any of these other gaming events and stuff like that? What's your take behind that?
Go ahead, Flex.
Okay. So the couple things, because I've been to your anime conventions, gaming conventions. I'm a con goer at heart. So I've been to quite a variety of different conventions, and I think it's a really fun social experience. And if you have the money, don't ever go if you don't have the money, because you're just going to be an ass. You're going to make an ass out of yourself because you can't afford to do anything there. But, if you have the money and you have the time, go to a convention. It is such a cool experience because you're suddenly you're surrounded by a building, a whole area of people that all like the same thing you do. And I mean, what's not to love to find people like you? Like, even in this own podcast, we all love the same stuff. We all love video games, and that's cool that you can connect with people. And sometimes too, like, you don't have that pleasure of doing that in person, but a convention gives you that opportunity to do so. And I think there's a lot of room for networking as well from a professional standpoint. I know, at least from gaming, specifically with fighting games, it's a huge way to network and to meet people and to, get exchange Twitter handles and learn different techniques and stuff like that. So I think from networking standpoint, absolutely. From a socializing standpoint, absolutely. And plus, you can buy some pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Again, I am less experienced in going to cons. Really the only one, like, so I've gone to a convention, or I've been going to a convention. I usually go to the National Association of Broadcasters convention, which is out here in Las Vegas, and I never really think about
like
it.
This nerdy stuff.
You know, it's
I need you to do something real quick, Smitty.
What's
I need
up?
you to take Flex's name and put it down next to you, because you're definitely flexing right now.
Hey, let's go. Like, I love that. Like, I love that stuff. And that is a nerd, like, broadcasting, like, technology, like, convention. It is fun. It's awesome. You get to see all kinds of new technology that's coming out. A lot of it, though, at the time, you know, I was in broadcast news, so my focus was more on things and tools for that. But the last time I went, I really started looking more at like streaming stuff and whatnot, and I definitely seeing a shift. From vendors that are there and stuff like that, a shift into more streaming, talking about different streaming platforms, different ways to do it. It is definitely swinging and shifting into that realm, which is fantastic. I've been saying it for years that TV broadcast needs to get up with the times, and they need to get on to digital stuff. Now that I'm at the new gig, which is a newspaper, they're actually ahead of the curve because they were humbled, a lot earlier than TV broadcast or broadcast TV. You know what I mean? Because people were like, "Oh, newspapers are dying, this or that." You know, they had to restructure. They had to go back, look at what they were doing, and say, "We got to get with the times." So they're now ahead of the curve on these digital platforms and digital, delivering stuff digitally, which is exciting. That is the future. People have phones in their hands all the time. They got all kinds of devices everywhere. You'd be a fool not to get up on this. I think it's fantastic. So I went to that, and I've always done some meeting vendors, meeting people, doing the networking stuff. TwitchCon last year was the first time I had ever gone to a convention like that, and I completely did it wrong. I butchered the experience.
Oh no!
Let me tell you what my experience was. Yeah, so I get in Thursday. First off, I had to get a hotel for Thursday, but then I was in an Airbnb Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So, I do that. It's a good 15-minute drive outside of town. That's fine. I end up, I'm Ubering and using that stuff and whatnot. I end up linking up with, this is where I linked up with Retro Lag, Lag Boot. We all met up at this one place. Mind you, I went solo, so I'm there solo. I don't really know anybody, and I just recognize them. I recognize them because of some of the community stuff, the Facebook communities and stuff like that is how I recognize them. So, we started jibber jabbing and whatnot. And I tell you, we are friends for life now. The experience that we had together, being able to hang out in real life, was freaking amazing. That Friday, right? So I had to leave the hotel at 10, but I can't check into the Airbnb until 3. So I'm trying to hit up this dude because I've got my suitcase and this and that, and I'm just not my suitcase, but my is that what they call it, suitcases? Yeah. My luggage. I have my luggage with me and stuff like that. I didn't realize I totally went blank there. I didn't realize that they had a place that you could actually drop off luggage and stuff. So I contacted the Airbnb guy. I'm like, "Hey man, is there any way I can get in early just to drop off my luggage? I got to go back to the convention." Which, by the way, I saw 50 Shades of Paint and her husband randomly while I'm waiting for my Uber. So I got to meet her, even though that was the only time that I saw her. I at least got to meet them and whatnot. Nice. So, I go drop the stuff off. I come back, and because of Thursday, and I got in a little late, I was probably a half hour away from getting my ticket Thursday night. They closed the line at 7:30, even though it said it was going to stop at 8. And I'm, we go out, we party and hang out. I ate a bunch of food later that night. Oh, dang it. I'm sitting here. I got way too off track there. But yeah. So I go back.
You were trying to get rid of your bags.
Yeah,
okay.
so I was able to do that. By the time I get back, line gate has happened. I am stuck in line. I sat in that line for like 5 hours. I got back at like noon, and I sat in the sun for like 5 hours. Literally, it's so bad. I was getting jelly legs. I was like, please, I cannot be that guy that passes out in line, and they got to get an ambulance, and I'm gonna look like an idiot. Like that's why is that going through my head? Instead of they finally started giving out water and stuff like that in line for like 5 hours. So I don't get into Friday's convention until like 5 o'clock. They extended it a little bit, but again, that sucked. I basically lost Friday, but we ended up going to the Twitch party and hanging out. We had a great night. Again, having those experiences with people, and these people that I've met online and whatnot. Saturday I got a full day in. I did all the stuff. Sunday I didn't realize I'm an idiot. I booked my flight for like noon. So Sunday, I didn't even get to go to the convention on Sunday, even though I paid for it. I'm such an idiot. I was just like, what am I doing? Like, it was my first time. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. Everything was crazy. So that sucked. But all in all, I loved it. This year, I'm doing it right. Okay, I'm doing it right. I am not going to make the same mistakes. I am going to get it in. I want to talk to people. I want to, do more hanging out and stuff like that. I want to go and speak with the vendors or see what, what I mean? Or not the vendors, but, some of the people that are there that, I don't know, just jibber jab and try to see what we can do. I want to do some shooting. I know that I had spoken with Lily Payne about, No, Shots?
More shots?
Ooh, I can't even think about it. I need one. We're supposed to go do a cosplay shoot with Lily Payne while we're out there. A bunch of people from the committee are going to be out there. We're staying in the same house. We got an Airbnb and stuff like that. So,
oh wow,
yeah, it's going to be a completely different experience. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I think I say yes, absolutely yes to conventions. If you're able to go, I want to go to more and do more of them. Just, so I can catch up and link up with some other people and speak to other things and stuff like that. It's a fantastic experience. I highly recommend them.
Nice.
Yes. I think that's gonna wrap us up. Right there, guys. Again, thank you guys so much, Flexiss, Tash, for being here.
Always.
Yeah, those were awesome. This was a lot of fun.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I think this was a good 20th episode.
Yeah.
We'll keep them coming again. We record today and Sundays, and then we release on Mondays. Check it out: Apple, Stitcher TV, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and all that good stuff and whatnot. So check that stuff out, guys. Go check out Flexiss, twitch.tv/Flexiss. 2 S's, 2 underscores. Flex on them, girl. And then we got my man's over here, Tasher Gaming. Or games. I'm just making up stuff now, guys. Check them out. Check them out on the socials. They're on the Twitters, the Instagrams, all that stuff. And of course, you can see me right here at Smitty2447. Thank you guys again. This has been a fantastic recording. Have a great week.